What's going on, guys? Psycho Killer here. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about how 2020 went with GTA 5 Online and Rockstar Games as a whole, and what to expect in 2021. As always, don't forget to smash the like button. You know it's going to be a good one. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning all post notifications on so you don't miss any of the content I release on the channel. Without wasting any more of your time, let's actually get into the video. So, everyone's always talking about how bad 2020 was. 2020 sucked because of this and that, and, there was the big elephant in the room, COVID-19. Then there was, cities being rioted, a lot of racial injustice, but I'm not going to touch on any of that for real because that's not what my platform is. My platform is in the game. But because of all that stuff, Rockstar was working from home. Just because the times were unprecedented and challenging doesn't mean that 2020 was actually bad. Every year has its downsides and upsides. And as opposed to focusing on the negative, I'm one of those guys that likes to focus on the positive. At Rockstar Games, everybody was working from home, but they were still giving us content. We started out with the first update of the year was the Los Santos Summer Special, and it wasn't very big. It wasn't great. But given what was going on in the country at the time, they could not release any Cops and Crooks content, which was believed to be the DLC for the summer. And they had to frago, they had to make a change on the whim. And we didn't get a whole lot. But a couple of things we did get, we got yacht missions, which made the yacht no longer useless. Sure, it wasn't much payout, and they were quick, and they were almost like a reskin of the Agatha Baker missions, but it was still something. And with the completion of it, we were able to obtain the captain's outfit, which for some people is a good thing. In addition to that, we also got new Benny's vehicles. Both the use of the yacht for something more than a flex and new Benny's vehicles were demanded by the community, and we got it. Again, it wasn't huge, but last year, well, I guess 2 years ago now, in 2019 for the summer update, we got the casino, and not much came with that. Then at the end of the year, we got the Cayo Perico update. And sure, the island isn't free roam like everybody wanted to be, and everybody thinks it isn't this huge update that they expected, but look, Rockstar once again listened to the community like they said they would do, and they gave us a solo heist. And not only did they give us this solo heist that we requested, but it is now the easiest way to make money. It's cake. In addition, we got a new island. And we've got several 70s and 80s style vehicles, which we will touch on the importance of those vehicles later. The new island, like I said, is not free mode, but Rockstar still is limited by the capabilities of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. It's still the biggest update as far as the file size goes, and even in the amount of money to be made. We're making $1.3 million on average for maybe an hour's worth of setup and heist. The heist you're seeing me do on screen, I finished in 9 minutes. So it was still the biggest update. And we also have drip feed that runs out through March. We got multiple scavenger hunts, a whole lot of new contact missions, hundreds of new music tracks. There's plenty to go with it. A lot of people are overlooking a lot of that. So what can we expect in 2021 from Rockstar Games, and in particular Grand Theft Auto Online? The March update. It's going along with what Rockstar does during a normal year, which we are expecting this year to be as they're all working back in the office again. We should see a March update. The drip feed is, placed out till March, and on the other side in Red Dead Redemption, their Outlaw Pass has been extended to March. So I would say we could expect an update in March, probably one in the last 2 weeks of March. With this update, we can expect new vehicles and clothing, as that is a staple of Rockstar Games with their updates. Definitely quality of life. Even if it's minor, Rockstar always does some sort of quality of life changes with each of their updates. We could probably expect a new series of contact missions. Maybe not anything huge like we're getting from Tom Connors and English Dave in the Cayo Perico update, but probably something a little bit smaller, similar to Agatha Baker missions or the yacht missions. In addition to that, we will probably get a scavenger hunt, as that's another thing Rockstar seems to have been letting out with a lot of their recent updates. Beyond that, we can expect a summer update probably in July. Again, with the update, just like all their DLCs, we will get new vehicles and clothing and minor quality of life changes. And I expect a new property that we will see to be pretty much useless, like we did with the casino. And possibly even a scavenger hunt in addition to that. I don't expect the summer update to be huge. Then we can look forward to the expanded and enhanced version dropping on the PlayStation 4 for the first 3 months, and I expect that to be in September. It will be exclusive to PlayStation 4 to start with, as we already know, and with that we might get some new vehicles and clothing, possibly, but I expect at least existing content with clothing and vehicles to be free. Possibly even a PlayStation logo t-shirt, just for the members that are using the PlayStation 5. Then when the game drops for Xbox Series X and S and drops for the PC, the expanded and enhanced version, I expect simultaneously with that to have our winter DLC. And I think this is going to be even bigger than Cayo Perico. Like I said, we're gonna get the launch for the Xbox Series X and the PC. I believe that useless property that I think we're gonna get in the summer update will gain a purpose. Whether it's to launch a heist or something, I believe it will gain a purpose. I think we'll get a new free mode and heist location on the next generation consoles. And everybody's all about Liberty City and Vice City, but I believe that Liberty City was done in GTA 4 and that they're not going to touch it yet. And I believe Vice City to be the focal point of Grand Theft Auto 6, which is supposed to be Project Americas. And so with that being said, I think any new free mode and heist location that gets added on will be San Fierro and or Las Venturas. I think it would be great to heist something in Las Venturas or San Fierro, give us a new location to heist. I know we just got a new location, but I don't expect Rockstar to stop now. In addition, we will obviously get new vehicles and clothing, quality of life updates, and again, like I said, I think we'll get a new business or a heist with that useless property that I expect. So I mentioned old vehicles in the Cayo Perico. They're 70s and 80s model vehicles, and not just in Cayo Perico, but recently we've seen a large emergence of classic vehicles, sports classics and muscles from the 70s and 80s in our DLCs. So Rockstar likes to backtest content, and by that I mean they'll take vehicles and test them in their latest release. So what I think's going on here is, obviously it wouldn't work in Red Dead, so they have to use GTA 5 and GTA Online, is they're taking classic vehicles that might be expected in Grand Theft Auto 6, and they're using them in GTA Online and testing them and see how they're going to work, fixing any bugs, and just using it as a platform. Grand Theft Auto 6 is said to span over several decades, which would cover the 70s and 80s, and that's why I believe that that's what these vehicles are. When Grand Theft Auto 6 does launch, you could probably expect to see a lot of these recent classics to be in Grand Theft Auto 6. There's also reports of a young Martin Madrazo being in Grand Theft Auto 6. I would expect that to be probably something more like a Strangers and Freaks, because a young Martin Madrazo you're not going to be working for at the time. So I would expect it to be more of a Strangers and Freaks. And I think we've seen a little bit of the model of this young Martin Madrazo in the emergence of Miguel Madrazo in Grand Theft Auto Online. In addition to this, just to kind of support the whole backtesting, is in the Red Dead Redemption 2 files, you can find 3 weapons. I believe I know there's a pistol and I believe 2 different assault rifles. You can't use them, but obviously at some point one of the developers were running around as Arthur Morgan or John Marston, in the 1800s using a weapon that came out in the 1900s, late 1900s, 70s, 80s, 90s era. So they actually do this to test for themselves, and that's why I think that that's what these classic vehicles are that we see emerging, is them testing it. This to me says that Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually further along than we think. And just because they're further along in the development process doesn't mean that we're going to get it now. It's still looking to be closer to 2023 and 2025. So I won't touch a whole lot on Grand Theft Auto 6 here on the channel until we have some more solid news. But those are just some observations I have made. For me, 2020 wasn't bad. I got an amazing new job with great benefits. I have a beautiful little girl that was born, and she'll be a year old in just 20 days. I made it to 31 today, guys. So, I mean, any day above ground is really a great day. I have another child that was struggling with some issues who has finally gotten past those. And my wife's son and I are building our relationship to be even stronger as he grows older. You know, I can't really complain about 2020 a lot. Again, my daughter was born in January of 2020, and shortly after that, I got this amazing job with great benefits, and then we were off of work for 2 months, and I got to sit at home and play this game and make content for you guys and spend time with my children, and that was great. So I can't really complain about 2020 too much. It has blessed me in, some would consider small ways, but I think they're big ways. And given the circumstances that Rockstar was dealt, they were still able to give us content, which is another thing to be thankful for, because they could have just shut down and not done anything for 2 months as well. But they did it. They were still able to bring us their largest DLC of all time. We still got something in the summer months, and we still got stuff to look forward to. I'm not about this whole new year, new me thing, but I am about taking what we learned from the previous year and progressing beyond that. So, here's to a happy new year, guys. And hopefully we got some big things coming in Grand Theft Auto Online. And maybe even some news soon about where they're at in Grand Theft Auto 6. But let's just play with what we got and be happy and thankful for what we have. And we can be positive about what's to come in the future. Even if it's not exactly what we want when we do get it, keep your expectations low and your hopes high. So, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully this video was enjoyable for you. If it was, don't forget to smash that like button. I don't do a lot of speculation videos like this, but if I get enough likes on it and people enjoy it, I will definitely keep it coming. I will never feed you fake news. But I like to speculate on things, and I decided to go ahead and bring that to the platform as well. So, again, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel or are returning and haven't done so, consider subscribing. Turn all post notifications on so you don't miss any of the latest and greatest news in Grand Theft Auto Online, so you don't miss any of the weekly updates, DLC news, and how-to videos, walkthroughs for everything that is Grand Theft Auto Online. As always, guys, I will see you on the flip side.